Hello everybody, welcome to my very first video on this channel. I'm Mime Yourself, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a little overview of Flavor Frenzy. It's a tower defense game that you get to play with your friends and collect different type of bears, which are your towers, to help defeat enemies. So let's just take a look over here. The first shop we're going to be looking at is Honey's Shop. Here you can use your honey currency that you get from getting duplicate skins from the skin gachas or from doing missions. Here, if a bear has a skin, you will be able to unlock it. You could also buy bears in this tab, or you can get game passes here. So let's go over to Cubert's shop now. Cubert's shop uses the main currency in the game, sugar cubes. You can unlock bears here, but since I have everybody, they're not here. You could also get platters. Platters unlock cosmetics for your characters to wear in a match. If you get a duplicate, you get honey. So I'm just going to do a little overview of all the platters right here. As you can see, I have every one because I just can't stop playing this game. You can turn on auto buy if you buy the game pass for it, which just allows you to more quickly open platters, which makes it a little bit easier for all of you who might want to whale on this game and, unlock all the skins that you can. And as you can see down here, my honey has actually gone up. So now that we've finished with the in-game shop, let's go look at the UGC shop. And here you can see standees and mannequins carrying the UGC that you can buy for your characters. I personally have Mothmellow and candy corns, as you can see over here that I'm wearing right now. They're all pretty well priced and honestly very good quality. I personally have bought a couple of these for my character. Anyways, there's also leaderboards. So as you can see in the very top, it'll tell you what the leaderboard is, and on the bottom, it'll tell you how much you are to get to the leaderboard. There is most victories, most enemies defeated, as you can see here. Oops. There's most missions completed, or quests completed, sorry. And then there's highest level. And here is the very bottom of it. Now that we've seen the shop and the leaderboards, let's look over the display looks for the game. Here is my level and how much experience I need to get it. Here is my current deck of bears that I have on. Here is my currencies, my honey and my sugar cubes, and here is quests. Quests are my roadhouse. These are one of my favorite features. As you can see, it'll tell you a mission that you have to do, and it'll tell you the XP and currencies you can get from it. It also has a special quest in the bottom, and it allows you to reshuffle them if you're not a fan of the ones that you got right now. Here is your bears tab. You can look over all your bears that you've unlocked, and if you were to click on one, it'll tell you their name, their class of bear, what their ability is, the limit that you can have of them, what they look like, of course, and who they combo with, which is this game's really nice gimmick. It also shows you their stats when they level up, which could be very helpful for determining if you want them on your deck. You could also change your skins here, or just pick a random one if you're feeling, lucky. So here are your decks. You can save and load your own decks if you so please, or you can just clear it. You can also just randomize it again if you're feeling lucky. So here's a random deck I just made right now, and I'm not going to do that one. Going back to my main one. One thing this game has is a lot of personality. It has a story mode that goes up to chapter 4 so far, which I highly recommend you play if you've never played a tower defense game, or even just to understand the lore of the characters. You can look at your milestones. Here's where you look at all your stats, your username, your victories, your skins owned, and also where you got the skins. Your enemies defeated, your quests completed, highest Velvet Wave, I don't do Velvet, and your level progression. This game rewards you at every certain cap of levels, from in-game currency to skins to even unlocking bears like Meringue and Jam, and Velvet, of course, at 20. Here are your achievements, which I'm sure everyone here knows what an achievement is in a video game. You unlock them from doing matches in certain maps, or doing events like the chapter for Easter egg, or just, story mode, which I think is very nice to get you motivated to do things. And you can also select titles that you can carry up in the game, in the lobby. I don't carry any myself, but you could do that. You could flaunt all the awesome achievements that you've collected. I guess the changelog isn't coming up. That might just be on my end, to be honest. And here are your settings. Obviously, every game has settings, auto skip, disable animations, and a bunch of other things. I recommend you take a good look at it. regardless if you're on PC or mobile, because it could help you out with lag. You could also enter codes that they give out on their Discord, and if it were working, the changelog would show you all the patches and updates. Now let's look over at the maps. This is difficulty 1. This is basically where all the newer players would be. This is Picnic Falls right here, and there's also Lunar Grotto. A really interesting thing about maps that I didn't notice until way later is that on the bottom it'll tell you if it's a water path map. I am notoriously a water map hater. Real quick side note, I know it's a little bit on the side. This is sandbox mode. You can get it with a game pass, which is actually pretty cheap for what it is, and it lets you select any matter of maps to test either a deck or just like see how the map works. And you know, I personally have dwindled with this, played with this a little bit, and it's quite fun. This is difficulty 2 and 3 maps. It is recommended for 2 to 3 players, but honestly, you could do a lot of maps with less players and have a lot of fun with coordination. There's Bookworm Library, there's Glucose Gallery, and there's also Lighthouse Isle, which is a water map. Again, I am a notorious hater of them. Difficulty 3 has Ancient Dunes, and it also has Blossom Sauna. Blossom Sauna is the only one I will actively subject myself to play. That being said, let's go look at the final difficulty ones that you can play. These are 4 and 5. It is recommended for 4 to 5 players, or a full party of 6, depending on what map you're doing. For difficulty 4 maps, there's Swampwater Village, which is a water path map, Savory City, which is very complex, and Skate and Dine, which is my favorite difficulty 4 map. Then difficulty 5 only has 2 maps, Kingdom of Whimsy and Cursed Embers, right over here. Now, you might be thinking, what is Velvet? Well, if you look over to my right, the Velvet Trial is its own section in the lobby. Now, I personally don't play Velvet, and I don't plan on playing Velvet all too much. It's not something I enjoy myself. But it is an endless mode that requires you to be 20 plus to enter. Just like the other docks, it will have different maps that you can play, Velvet Trial 1 and Velvet Trial 2. Being an endless mode, this could technically go on forever if you have the right people. You technically beat the maps at wave 50, but you can go indefinitely with the right people. And this is the concept art studio area, which I am not going to show in this video. I simply implore you to get into the lobby and actually look at it yourself. There's so much little nice details in there that it's just really nice. There's a lot of character to this game, aside like the genuine cast, which is, you know, characters in of itself. This has been a little mini tour of Flavor Frenzy, and I hope to see you guys in game. If you ever see me in the lobby, feel free to hop over and play with me.